これまで10年アメリカに住んで明らかに誰と比較しても一番勉強熱心で、大学から大学院の博士課題まで全てオール A で、しかも可愛いっていう友人のエリカにどうやってモチベーションをギュッと上げたのかと、いい成績で卒業できる方法っていうのを聞いてきました。みんな
There are dips in our motivation. I think it's hard to be completely motivated and really enjoying what we're doing all of the time. So I just wanted to share first that it makes a lot of sense and is completely understandable that sometimes finding that motivation would be challenging. I can speak from personal experiences. I think one of the first steps can be just kind of like acknowledging that it's okay for there to be hard moments and not for lack of a better word, beating ourselves up for it, being kind of like understanding or caring to ourselves that it's kind of a natural part of the human experience to go through struggles, and that if it's something that we really care about, connecting back to our why. So why did you choose to start this education? What is kind of driving you? What are you wanting to do in the future? How will what you're doing now help you to get there? And so sometimes reconnecting to those questions, like what made me get into learning in the first place, can help us reconnect to our love of learning new things and exploring new topics, but also keeping just a little thread of I'm doing this because I have some goal, or this is going to help me pursue this thing or get this job, or sometimes reminding ourselves of the why we're doing this hard thing can help us to sustain the motivation. And also, I do want to mention there's a theory, self-determination theory, and this says that there are multiple facets that can help us feel really motivated and in a good place moving through an experience. Sometimes we appreciate connecting with others, and if connecting with others is absent, we can feel less motivated to do things. The pandemic has made that exceedingly difficult. So finding unique ways to connect to people. So maybe you have a classmate who you could Zoom study with and work on a project or something. I've done Zoom library sessions with a friend of mine who Hiro knows, Anna Marie from Finland. We will write together, but not in the same place over Zoom, but at the same time. And that's kind of motivating, a source of accountability that someone will be there with me and I just need to sit down and do some work. Sometimes we're motivated by feeling a sense of autonomy, like we have a choice over what we're doing. So reminding ourselves that this is something that we elected to pursue. It's something we enjoy, and being able to choose the classes we teach can sometimes enhance our motivation. And then for others, feeling a sense of competence and like they're capable of doing what they're doing. So finding small ways to have success along the way can help us feel motivated, not, oh my goodness, that thing in the future is so far away. Sometimes it's hard to keep our motivation, but if we can find like little successes and little things to accomplish along the way, like a small assignment or a small bit of something that can help us to keep going when it is difficult. So motivation is it's a challenging thing, and I think you are certainly not alone in having moments where it's difficult to keep motivated doing something that is very hard, especially in the midst of these challenging circumstances. And so those are just a few thoughts to be creative with, reconnecting to why you are doing something, and then finding ways to connect or tap into things that you value, whether it's connection with others or feeling a sense of competence or having choice over what you're involved in.
How did you keep your GPA so high?
Wow, that is it seems a simple question, but it's quite involved because a lot of things went into being able to do that. I think it was challenging, and there was a lot of stress, and I felt overwhelmed a lot of the time. So it was not an easy thing. I think sometimes it's really easy to see those numbers and think like, oh, why is it then challenging for me? it was very challenging. So if you're encountering roadblocks or hurdles, that is absolutely natural in going through a process like this. I was a very diligent studier. So I, in moments, delayed certain gratification of having a celebration or a get-together with friends that I cared about because I had something that I wanted to accomplish that was in front of me, and that was learning this content so that I could represent it well on whatever examination or assessment I was going to be given. And that my hope is that that understanding of that information would help me in my future career to do good work in teaching someday and being in that position working with students. So I think being very diligent in studying was very helpful. That being said, I asked a lot of questions of my mentors. So is office hours something that is pretty consistent, whether in US or in Japan, for education, where professors hold an hour or two each week to address questions, to help students through any confusing areas so that you can, be clear about what you're learning? I used those resources a lot. So I would visit my professors and have conversations with them about the material whenever I had questions so that I could really learn it. And for me, that ended up being more efficient because I was learning directly from the source what that topic was about and how I could come to know it more clearly, rather than spending hours of my own time like searching through the textbook and trying to figure out. Now there's some of that's helpful, but asking of questions and not being afraid to not know was something that I had to learn, because the first step in coming to know something is not knowing it initially. And so kind of recognizing it's okay to have a question, to not know, to ask it, to gain the clarity, to then be able to excel on assessments and learn the information that was required of me. So those were a couple of things that were very helpful. So being very diligent in my studies, it was very hard sometimes to balance being an athlete or being a coach and doing the studies. It took a lot of hours. And I am not a fast studier. My process is very methodical, one might say. In other words, like slower. And so it took a dedicated effort to be engaged in the studies and to do my best to learn. And I think one of the things that helped keep me going was a genuine curiosity and want to learn, not just to do well on the exams, but truly to learn the information. Because if I was curious and had a want to know it, it stuck better and I could remember it better. And then that was just helpful in the numbers coming out the way that they did. But I think it first started with a genuine curiosity and wondering about things and want to learn it. And I think that was really, really helpful in sustaining the motivation to do the hard work, to study and have that accomplishment. Throughout my time, he was a mentor of mine. He told me that there are some things to being successful in school, in college. You need to show up to class. First, be there so you can do the learning. So be at class, do all of the assignments and turn them in. So if they're turned in, you have the ability for them to be graded. Really helpful. Show up to the exams and take the exams. That's also a really helpful thing. And also doing the backdrop of the hard work to study is really, really helpful so that you can do the learning to then be able to be successful in the assessments. But I think those are some things that are really helpful, and just the basics of showing up to be a learner, to be engaged, to wonder and be curious in the learning process, I think seems very simple, but ends up going a long way. And I also need to say that if I were attempting to do a degree in a language that was not my first language, I have no idea how that might have gone. So I have massive respect for Dr. Hiro pursuing his master's degree in English, which was not his first language. And my goodness, that's just really incredible. So I have a lot of respect for that. Some additional learning that I have needed to pursue is recognizing that sometimes failing at something or not doing as well as you hope is a really useful source of learning how to do it better. And so that was a really helpful, although difficult, learning experience to have. So Japanese food in general is one of my absolute favorite foods. I love all kinds of sushi. Yes, all of it. But I think, how do you say salmon in Japanese? Sake, my favorite. Sake.
Oh.
Sashimi or yeah, I love it. It's my favorite. Whenever, so speaking of grades, I'll mention this really briefly here. When I was young and my parents wanted to celebrate me having a lot of effort in my education, they would take me out to dinner and I could choose where to go. And I always picked to go to a Japanese restaurant to have sushi because it was my favorite.